In this lesson, we're going to sketch the inverse of each function. Some of them won't be a sketch, they're going to be an exact inverse, but some of them, as you'll see as we keep going, are going to actually have to be a sketch. So the first thing I like to do is always draw in my line y equals x, so I can see what it would reflect across. And when I pick something to sketch, I'm going to do what we did in our last video, and I'm going to name some points on this line. There's quite a few, isn't there? So I'm going to go, okay, this is my original function. Let's name some of those points. Negative 5, 0, negative 4, 1, negative 3, 2, negative 2, 3, negative 1, 4, and 0, 5. So for my inverse function that I'm sketching, I would then just flip those ordered pairs. So I would say I'm going to use 0, negative 5, 1, negative 4, 2, negative 3, 3, negative 2, 4, negative 1, and 5, 0. So then I just plot those points. 0, negative 5, 1, negative 4, 2, negative 3, 3, negative 2, 4, negative 1, 5, 0. Connect the dots. I'm going to not use a straight edge, see how I do. And hopefully you can see how those folded up would match right up. So the linear ones aren't too bad, I don't think. The second one we're going to look at is a parabola. Same idea. I'm going to list my functions. I maybe should draw my line in first, right? Ooh, that one was pretty good. Getting better at this. So I'm going to name some points. I can't name that. How about here? I can name those. I can name, I think, these. So I'm going to say my points are negative 2, 2, negative 1, negative 1, 0, negative 2, 1, negative 1, and 2, 2. So for my inverse function, I would flip those. So I would have 2, negative 2, negative 1, negative 1 still, negative 2, 0, negative 1, 1, and 2, 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plot those points, and I'm going to use green so we can see them a little better. 2, negative 2, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, 0, negative 1, 1. Oh, look at this. I plotted that first one wrong. That looks better, huh? And then 2, 2. So as you can see, hopefully you realized from our last one we did, like this, we have a sideways parabola, which is not a function. But with all this mess, if I fold along that green line, they still line up. So my last one. This is a cubic function, and it's going to be a little bit harder to do this. I'm going to draw my line first, y equals x, so I can kind of see how this works. And now I'm going to list some points that I can name. I don't see a lot that I can name. I think this one, I think this one, and I think this one. The rest would be decimals. So I'm actually going to just try to estimate a decimal and be a little bit off. So like right here, and maybe right here. So I would call this one I just drew negative 1.5, negative 3. So this is f of x. And then I have negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2. And then that other one I kind of guessed on would maybe be 1.5, 4. And you're going to notice with cubic functions you would have to, you're estimating a little bit more. So that's why we call this a sketch of the graph. So I'm going to go ahead and flip all of those ordered pairs. And then go ahead and plot those points. So I'm just going to erase these red circles so they don't confuse us. And I'll go negative 3, negative 1.5, 0, negative 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, and 4, 1.5. Now this is really going to be a sketch for me. So what I'm trying to do is make this line up. So like I'm thinking, okay, from here, it looks like it would go like this maybe. And then I want this so if I folded it, they'd go together. So this must have to have like a little loop. Kind of come in and go out. Ooh, that's pretty good. So see how if I folded it, they'd line up? It's not perfect. It is a sketch. So as long as you're kind of on the right track and you can show me that you listed some points, you're going to get credit for that. So those are a little bit harder, but that's how you would sketch an inverse function.